Hi, I'm Sly. Welcome to my world. Today I'm going to be mounting a turkey tail on a plaque. Show you how to prepare your tail and stuff for mounting, and the beard and the plaque and everything. I already had the plaques made up. I made them up 20 years ago. I had one left, and I think I haven't done it for so long, but my son-in-law shot his first turkey, Matt, and I was in one of the videos, and I figured I'd mount one for him. It's kind of cool looking, hanging on the wall. I'll show you how I prep the tail and stuff, and it's easy peasy if you ever want to do it yourself. The plaques and stuff, you can look at what I got here, or else you can just buy one if you can't make one. They sell them. So thanks for watching. Okay, we got our tail here, cut off the bird. And I'm just going to take and cut these back feathers off the back side of the tail. I'm just going to get rid of the meat and everything and cut right alongside the tail feathers. It is kind of tough because there is some bone there. These feathers we don't use. Cut right along the tail feathers. I want to get rid of all this fat and meat. Okay, I want to take every individual feather out. And I'm going to keep them in the order I took them out. And I want to clean off all the skin and fat and everything that's around the feather. Nice to have a rag. Wipe it right off. There we have our first one. We keep them in order. That is that side. Continue doing this for all the feathers on the tail. This one is kind of messed up. If you just get it started with a knife, scratch it back a little bit, you can take it off with the rag. We got all our tail feathers cleaned up, separated, and this turkey had the standard 17 tail feathers. So next thing we want to do is we want to cover up this void right here to make it prettier. So we're going to take the secondary feathers, tail feathers. This is what you see in front of it. We want to get these bigger ones. And then we're going to get some of the really pretty bronze colored and green, and get a few of those feathers in there too to fill in all of this. These we just pluck off. I keep them in somewhat of an order. You can tell the way the vein is curved in some of them. You can cut off. What I do with these, I'll peel the frill off of it, because that'll all be covered up by the plaque. Okay, the standard turkey tail, from my experience, because I've done this about 25-30 times, is a 30-inch spread, 28 to 30-inch spread on the tail. So I just get this close. I got this one at, I don't know, 29 or so. 2-year-old bird. I want to keep that about a 90. I mean a straight line here at the base of the tail. That's a shame, that feather's kind of messed up, but that's just the way it was. Got my hot glue gun, and I'm just gonna tack these together. So I got a nice melamine surface here to glue, slide right off of that, pop right off. This second feather is really nice. I want to keep a spread on here so it's overlapping about 3/8 to a 1/2 inch. You want to start with the outside feathers first and work your way, because you're overlapping on top. The center feather should be riding on all of them. Just mess around with it, play around with it so you think it's overlapped the right way. You don't want too much like that. You want to overlap a 1/2, 3/8. You want to keep the points similar, or the outside, so it's even. You can manipulate it however you want. So I just like working one side around and the other side around too, and then I can manipulate this a little bit, even though this one came out really good, where this feather just lays in there, overlaps them both right where I wanted them. Yeah, if you try to move it too quick, you'll muff it up. So you're better off just waiting for that glue to dry. But in the meantime, you can lay out these secondary feathers, and you can see there's like a dark line here where these feathers were covered up and the sun bleached out these just a little bit. It gets a little darker. So I basically just try to follow that line with these. Again, starting on this side and overlapping towards the center. And these I just lay out all at once. That way I can adjust them. It doesn't matter where the ends end up, you just want to make this look good and nice and even. Save that one. And then I just glue this to the frame, the other tail. Making sure I got it connected here. We used to salt all these tails, salt them and borax, and it would take weeks for them to cure. And then you got worried about bugs getting at them. And now we got the third layer. feathers, you just do the same thing. These are some centers. There. Now this is the tricky part, getting all these to meld together. So I'm not worried what this looks like so much right here, because this all gets covered up. And I want to make sure I got them all glued. And that's pretty much what it looks like. Now my plaque goes on it like this. So like I said, you don't need another layer of feathers on there. You can if you want, except for the glue gets a little thick, so when it sandwiches in here, I have like a 3/4 inch gap in this where the tail slips in, and that gets sandwiched in there. Beard and the spurs. I'm just going to cut the spurs off the legs with a jigsaw or the bandsaw, and then shape them up with the sander. I don't have to show you all that, but I'll show you the finished product. In the beard, I end up putting in the shotgun shell, if I can find it. And then what I want to do is put a little bit of glue just to firm this all up in the back, make it a little more rigid. So I took my shotgun shell, I drilled a hole in it down far enough to miss the primer, and I centered it so the shot, this is our spent shell from the one that got the turkey. And I put a 16 gauge gun nail in there, and I had to cut a little bit off because it was a 2-inch nail, so it didn't go through the backside of my plaque. We got our beard, 9-incher. Cleaned off all the skin and the flesh, got it down to a minimum and let it dry a few days. What you do is you just want to put a little hot glue in here inside the shell. You can maul it full if you want. And we just take our beard and set it in there, so however we want to position it. And I'll just add a little more hot glue to it. I got the spurs cut off. I drilled holes in them to match up with my nails. So I'm just going to pound 2 of these 2-inch gun nails, 16 gauge gun nails, into the plaque, and then cut them off at whatever length left over that I think will slide these spurs on it. And nice thing about these nails is they got that little bit of coating, this plastic coating here. And when you slide that spur on, it kind of grips it right kind of nice, and they don't fall off later. We got my plaque set up. I got 2 crank screws in the back. Same connecting this. I just got them started so it's a little loose. I got a little bit of extra room here to slide this in. I just want to slide this in, center it, even it out. This is kind of a tough part. Getting this right on. Take it back and look at it a little bit, make sure it's good. Looks pretty good. Alright. I just guesstimate here. I like to keep them in these spurs nails. I just take a little guess. Try to keep it even. Horizontal. And I just clip them off. Like I said, if the spur doesn't go down all the way, I'll cut a little more nail off. You can bend the nail to whatever you think you need there. There, we got the spurs attached. And then we'll take and get our shotgun shell on here. I bump it right up to the bottom of this base. There. Yeah, so there you have it. So on the back of my plaque, I just put a keyhole. I got a keyhole bit for my router. And then you can just put a screw in the wall and then slide this over and just slide it down on there and it hangs on there. It's pretty nice. For hanging this stuff, it'll sit flush to the wall. But there you have it. Easy peasy, took me 45 minutes from start to finish. I mean, with cleaning the feathers off and gluing everything up, but it goes pretty fast. It's easy to do, and it's clean. You don't have to sit there and worry about salt and everything and doing all that. So, thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.